You know that quote that goes, if you're a jack of all trades, you're a master of none? Sounds good, right? It makes sense to be like, yeah, I want to specialize in one specific thing so that I can just dominate the market in that space. Well, let me know how you feel about it after hearing the rest of the quote. So it goes, if you're a jack of all trades, you're a master of none, but it's still often better than a master of one. And that second part right there is what everyone either doesn't know or forgets about, but it's kind of crucial. Honestly, it's fantastic to be a specialist. I mean, you got the brain surgeons and like the corporate lawyers, like very specific things or whatever it may be. But if you look at the actual top players in life, they're all generalists. I've made a fair amount of money in my day for my age, and honestly, you're just gonna have to trust me on that because the CRA is a thing. I'm not one of these gurus out here giving you these flashy numbers and stuff. If you know, you know. You don't have to trust me, but take it with a grain of salt either way. But I don't say this just to flex because, I mean, that's weird. I honestly say this because people in my life and people online, they be looking at me and they're like, oh, okay, so he's made this much money with just video editing. Or he's making this amount of money because he does videography, which, I mean, you're not entirely wrong. But the reason I've actually made a decent amount of money for my age is because I'm actually an elite generalist, or a jack of all trades, if you will. Don't get me wrong, I definitely have specific skills that I specialize in, or skills that stand out more than others. Like, I mean, I said video editing and videography, those are definitely my bread and butter. But I also made it a point to be really freaking good at a bunch of other skill sets that encompass the whole space that I'm in. That's graphic design, script writing, storytelling, photography. I can't put my ring finger up without my pinky finger going up, so we have to skip it right there. Overall branding, aesthetics, whatever it may be, all the stuff that encompasses the space that I'm in, I'm really freaking good at these things. A little side story for this, someone that I work with specifically for video editing, he came to me asking me if I do anything related to graphic design for like YouTube banners or thumbnails, whatever it may be, because he was having a little bit of issues with the person that he was working with. And I was like, yeah, I mean, of course, I can do everything. I don't specifically like to do graphic design, but I can do it if need be. So I did that. I gave him the thumbnail, and he was like, damn, I didn't know you had the sauce like that. I'm like, it's always there. We just don't like to use it all the time, but we do it so that we have all these skills that we can deploy at any moment in time. So when prospective clients come to me saying, oh, they love my content, they love my videos, whatever it may be that attracted me to them, or I guess attracted them to me, that initial stuff is really good. But then when we start actually working together and they discover this whole well of untapped stuff that I can actually do, that's when you actually start making the big bucks, because at that point they realize you're kind of irreplaceable. So yes, you can say, oh yeah, he's made X amount of money because of the video editing, the videography, but that's only like the base layer. And then when we actually get into it, because I'm so good at generalizing and a bunch of other things, that's where you really get the real bread. So yeah, you could specialize. And honestly, this kind of reminds me of another popular quote that's related / not really related. But the quote is the one that goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So I kind of see that in the same thing for specializing. It's like, if you want to specialize, you can go really fast. Like, you can hit your mark, you can focus in on that thing. But if you want to go far, be a generalist, you make more money in the longer run. But hey, we're in it for the long game anyway. Life is kind of long. So yes, you should be a specialist in one thing, but don't let that stop you from trying to specialize in multiple different things, different lanes that come together to make a bigger piece of the puzzle, which is the key part also. Like, I'm not saying that you should generalize in just a bunch of different markets. Like, I'm not telling you to go do real estate, crypto, whatever it may be. Like, they still have to be within the same sphere. Like I said, for me, the video editing, the videography, the photography, the scripting, the branding, aesthetics, like all the things that I've already said, like that's all still within the same content creation sphere. It all still makes sense. It all stacks on top of each other. So when I say to generalize, it still needs to be in the same market. And when you do that, that's when you're going to dominate everyone that's specializing within the same market as you. But you're just way more valuable because you can literally do everything if needed. You still have your main thing that you're known for, but you can crush them in every other aspect of it.